Sorry I've not done student shoutouts in a while. I've just been really busy with grading and creating resources. But I'm backdating now. So we're going back to Act 2, Scene 4. And this was the one where the nurse came on and she saw Mercutio and Romeo and they were kind of bullying her. So the first person I want to give a shout out to is Adil Yusuf. You know, you guys were asked how Shakespeare uses literary devices and poetic devices to develop and propel themes in the story, and he's written that hyperbole and malapropisms are used to develop this theme of individualism versus society in a way that they kind of bully the nurse because of her mispronunciations. Obviously, a malapropism is using words incorrectly to a comedic effect, which he does by accident, and Adele's hit the nail on the head perfectly with this. However, one thing I would say, Adel, is don't put parentheses around words like this. It's sloppy writing. You'd be better off using different clauses where you use commas for like a relative clause or a subordinate clause for any extra information you feel you need. The next person I want to give a shout out to is Yassine. Yassine has written one about metaphors. He said it's Shakespeare develops themes through metaphors, and he's got things like the butcher here, or the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bow of the boy's butt shaft. God, that was hard to say. So there's even religious metaphors that's used throughout the story, and there's lots of allusion to Greek gods as well. But yeah, again, Yassine's been working really, really hard, and his work deserves a shout out finally. John, a student who has, especially since e-learning, really been putting in a lot of effort. He's picked a difficult one. He's looked at allusion and foreshadowing. Now, the foreshadowing one, we've got Romeo's death. He's already dead, said by Mercutio. But he's also chosen to pick the allusion in the scene, which was quite difficult. There were lots of mentions to either historical figures or Greco-Roman deities. And he's picked this and then talked about how this reflects on Mercutio's character, how he has this arrogant nature and he talks about women in a negative way. So well done, John. That was a really good paragraph, mate. Next person to give a shout out to is Hussein. Hussein, well done. Hussein's always worked consistently hard. He always puts in 110% effort and his work is always outstanding, and this is like every other piece. So nice one. He's talked about the good goose banter between Mercutio and Romeo. Not really funny by today's standards, but probably had a laugh back then. And he's talked about how this really shows Romeo to be immature and naive amongst this everlasting debate he's written whether their love, Romeo and Juliet's love, is true or not. So that's all of them, guys. Well done. Nice one. Keep up the good work.